So far this season, the 76ers have been a bit of a mess. Players are calling each other out, and basically every main guy on the team has been hurt. Instead of being the championship contending team that they were supposed to be, they're sitting at 2-12 with the worst record in the entire league. However, in the midst of all the chaos, their new rookie Jared McCain has been thriving. Yes, the TikToker with 4 million followers is now one of the best players in his entire draft class. Chaos is a ladder, and Jared McCain has taken full advantage of the opportunity. He went from playing only 11 minutes a game to over 30 minutes a game in the span of just days. And since then, he's been averaging 25 points and 4 assists while shooting almost 50% from the field and 44% from 3. He wasn't even starting for half of those games either, which makes it that much crazier. And in addition to his already really good shooting splits, he hasn't missed a free throw in any of the 14 games he's played. He's currently 32 for 32 from the free throw line. Putting up those numbers as a rookie is unreal, especially playing on a team that hasn't been looking very good. Jared is the youngest rookie in franchise history to score 25 or more points off the bench and is one of 2 rookies this season to have multiple games with 5 or more made threes. The other rookie is Dalton Knecht for the Lakers, and funny enough, they were drafted back-to-back both outside of the lottery. Jared McCain is literally already the favorite on every sportsbook to win Rookie of the Year. Going into the season, he had the 15th best odds of winning the award. Nobody thought he would even be in the conversation for Rookie of the Year, let alone being the favorite to win it. Jared's a 6'3" point guard that's really an all-around threat on the offensive end. He says that he models his game after Steph Curry and Jalen Brunson, which is kind of a unique combo, but it totally makes sense. His off-ball movement is already close to the level of Curry, and the way he attacks the rim and creates shots in the mid-range is just like Jalen Brunson. Jared's an excellent shooter, but a big reason he's so good at it is because he's constantly moving all around the floor and getting himself open without the ball even being in his hands. Whether he's coming off screens or simply just moving when nobody else is, the defense is constantly having to chase him around. That, or they'll constantly have to switch, which causes easy mismatches and increases the likelihood of the defense making a mistake. It's one of the most underrated skills in basketball, and the ones that do it really well easily separate themselves as scorers. He's able to find the spot that's open and doesn't hesitate to shoot it once he gets it. It's easily one of the things I like the most about his game. Then his ability to score with the ball in his hands is just as impressive. His confidence is off the charts, which is extremely rare to see when it comes to rookies in the NBA, especially as a guard. When you see him play, he doesn't look like a rookie. Everything he does is just so fluid. Despite not even being the most athletic player, he's able to create a ton of space off the dribble. His ability to cook in the mid-range is really good. He can knock down pull-up jumpers, or he can create something for himself. Another thing that's pretty rare to see in a rookie. And by the way, Jared is only 20 years old. It's not like he's 22 or 23 doing all this after spending multiple years in college. He spent 1 season at Duke and his game is already extremely advanced. But the thing that actually surprises me about his game the most is his IQ. I just named a few reasons why he's smart when it comes to scoring, but his playmaking is so much better than I think anyone expected. We knew he was a solid scorer coming out of Duke, but you didn't really see him always setting up the offense and creating a ton of shots for others while he was there. That could have been because it wasn't his job, and also the players he's passing the ball to now are obviously a lot better than his teammates at Duke, so that makes things a lot easier. A lot of the times, you'll see young point guards struggle to adjust to the pace and physicality of the NBA, especially when it comes to passing. Certain passes that could have been made in college can no longer be made in the NBA. That and making the right decisions on the court in general can be pretty difficult. But the way Jared's able to take smart shots, make the right passes, and play the game at his own pace is just incredible. I'm not trying to overhype him like he's going to be the next big thing in the NBA, but he definitely has the skill set to be something pretty special. I mean, he scored 20 or more points in his last 6 games. He scored 34 points against the Cavs, who are one of the hottest teams in the league. And he also had 10 assists. I don't know how many rookies have put up 30 points and 10 assists in a game, but it can't be very many. Then he had a 29-point game against a really solid Orlando Magic team and finished that game almost shooting 60% from the field. Jared even had a 27-point game against the Hornets in a 2-point win. He led the 76ers to a win without Joel Embiid or Tyrese Maxey, all while coming off the bench. His actual stat line is kinda skewed because he really wasn't playing all that much at the beginning of the season, so it brings his averages down a ton. But even while his stats are being heavily weighed down, he's still leading the entire rookie class in points per game with over 15. Jared has scored more points than any player in the rookie class while being 9th in total minutes. The stuff he's doing right now is not normal for a rookie, let alone the 16th pick. It's like what Norman Powell and the Clippers said about Paul George leaving. It's addition by subtraction. Paul George left, and that gave Powell the opportunity to step up in a much bigger role, and that's exactly what he's done. So with the injuries to Embiid, Paul George, and especially Tyrese Maxey, it's given Jared a huge opportunity that he's taken advantage of. But the big question a lot of people were asking was if Jared was going to remain a starter, and I think that might have just been answered in their game against the Grizzlies. Although Kyle Lowry was out with a hip strain and Tyrese Maxey was on a minutes restriction, so things could still change going forward. However, he started alongside their big names and fit in just fine. People were questioning if Jared could fit in the starting lineup, especially next to Tyrese Maxey, but I assumed it would be just fine. Because like I've already said, he's not that kind of guard that needs the ball in his hands. Him being a secondary ball handler while cutting through the lanes and coming off screens seems like a perfect fit. And even if he came off the bench, he would still be mixing in minutes with Tyrese, so might as well keep him in the starting lineup. Kyle Lowry would be able to lead the bench unit with his veteran experience, and at the same time, you'll be able to invest in your new 20-year-old point guard. I mean, in his first game starting alongside all of them, he scored a very efficient 20 points and fit in perfectly. So I would like to see more games like that before thinking about moving him back to the bench, especially now that Paul George is going to be out again after hyperextending the exact same knee that was already hurt. You also gotta think, once everyone's fully back and fully healthy, his usage is gonna go down a decent bit. So his role won't need him to be shooting the ball several times a game and playmaking for everyone else around him. And you might as well truly invest in him because at this point, who knows what the team is gonna look like by the end of the season, or even next season. It just came out the other day that Tyrese Maxey called out Joel Embiid for constantly showing up late. And let's be completely real, the 76ers have had a culture issue for quite some time, and Maxey actually calling it out is something you want to see. The team clearing out the elephant in the room isn't always a bad thing, it really could lead to the team finally locking in. This team has way too much talent to be 2-12. I get they've been hurt, and I definitely give them some grace, but with everything else that's going on, it's not a very good look. However, the good thing is that they're just 14 games into the season, and have more than enough time to turn it all around. And luckily for them, the East is garbage, so if they can stack a few wins in a row, they'll be right back into the playoff race. But with all the chaos going on, at least they were able to figure out they have a really good player on the team that can contribute right away. And with him stepping up and everyone else getting healthy, then the Sixers still could be a really solid team competing in the East. But let me know what you think about Jared McCain, and please leave a like on the video to support the channel. Also subscribe if you're new for more basketball videos just like this one.